All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll specially welcome you to this great event. Um, Today, we are making history. It's not just an ordinary day, because this summit is actually the first ever in Sagamu, not another one. It's the first ever in Sagamu, and I believe that the impact is going to last longer. Yes, more people are coming, as I strongly believe. So we that we are here, I want us to celebrate ourselves. Celebrate yourself. Come on, celebrate yourself. If I'm to do it, I might not do it better, but you can do it better. Yes. Yes. So I want to congratulate you for making it down here. It's going to be memorable, as I said earlier. So I welcome the great minds, the entrepreneurs, the guests, the sound minds, the coming millionaires. Yes, because if you don't conceive it, you cannot have it. Do you believe that? If you don't have it in your mind, if you don't have the picture, if you don't picture it in your mind, you cannot actualize it. So we are millionaires. Yes, picture it. And we have amazing speakers that are going to give us the formulas to use in printing out the real pictures that we have in mind. Probably, yes, the formula will actually help you to actualize them. I can assure you that, trust me. So going forward, I would like us to, are we good as we are, or we should, let's come forward a little, just adjust forward a little. Yes, so those that are coming behind will know where they belong automatically. We wouldn't need to tell them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I believe we are all here because we are hungry to make extra, to be the best we can be in life and as a Nigerian. So here our ideas are going to meet opportunities. Yes. Those ideas are going to be reshaped. We're going to brighten it, make it better, clearer. So if you are hungry for growth and you are here, be ready to network, be ready to connect, be ready to level up. Therefore, I say congratulations to you once again. Come on, celebrate yourself again. Celebrate yourself. Yes. Either you have eaten or not, just celebrate yourself. All right, going forward, we want to have our opening remark. I hope we have all registered, right? Have you all registered? Have you all? All right. So we're going to have our opening remark. To anchor this, I'm privileged to invite to the podium the host in person of Mr. Nicholas. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I have to admit this. We are so sorry. We actually stated the program to start 9:30, but we don't know. We've done all our possible best to see that people turn up on time, so as to not waste people's time before leaving the program. But we don't know. Many of them say they are still on their way. Call me. Some saying we are unable to get the location. We share them. Okay, this is how you are going to get the location. But still, they are still coming. Sincere apologies for that. But we are not going to keep you guys waiting. So we just have to kickstart, and they will meet us um, anywhere they meet us. So, as an opening remark, um, it's Chukwemeka, the CEO of Nicholas Autos. So, I noticed many business people, but the most especially in Sagamu here, you see them go to their business place and from morning to night, they hardly make sales. So I discovered my friend. I said, what do we do? Let's share some business tips with business people so they can know how, like one or two things they can add, do more to their business so they can at least 1%, 2%, 3% make more sales in their business. So okay, so initially we were even thinking let's do this virtually. But I'm like, virtual. Let's do it physical. Let's bring in people. Come on. Okay, what are those things you do to add to your sale business? So we came up with this. So that's the idea. That's the goal. We want to educate business people, small business owners, entrepreneurs on those few things you can add to what you are doing in your business to increase your revenue, get more sales. And I'm very certain we have bright minds here who are going to share with us some of those tips. I just believe you are going to learn so much from this meeting. Yeah. Once again, you are welcome.
A round of applause. Yes, that's Coach Nicholas. Is making waves at his niche. Yes, and he has this broad mind for co-entrepreneurs to also be doing fine in their various niches. That is why he came up with this gathering for you and I to benefit. Do you think that is commendable? Is it commendable? Let's give him a round of applause once again. Yes, because he's not, how do I put it? He's not selfish. If it were to be another person, so if I'm doing fine, then let others find their roots. But he's able to organize this so that you and I can as well be doing fine at our various niches. Right? So we have a lot of topics to deliberate on today, which I believe at the end of it all, you are going home a better person. Yes, you are going home a better person in your business endeavors. So get ready, be prepared, because it's going to be great today. Quickly, let me ask us this question. There is this brand. Their logo is fruit. Their brand is fruit. Who can tell me that brand? Who can tell me that company? It's fruit. They like fruit. So they made their brand, their logo a fruit. Yes? You said? iPhone. Is she correct? Let's give her a round of applause now. Alright. There is this brand too. They have this word or this writing. Just do it. Just do it. Can't tell me. Anybody? Just do it. Just it's a common brand. It's a common brand. In fact, somebody here has a brand. I wouldn't share that. Want to tell me? Just do it. Anybody going? Want to help us? Nike. Sir? Nike? Are you sure? Give him a round of applause. Yes. Nike, just do it. Just do it. And okay. Lastly, there is this brand that their logo is related to female undies. This is a mature gathering. So can tell me. In fact, somebody sometimes ago, somebody answered. Somebody whispered it, and I don't know if the person is correct, but I would like the person to give us the answer. So who wants to say it? Anybody? Should I hum that song? Maybe you can know it. Should I hum that song? Benz, come on, give her a round of applause. Why are you shy to say it? all right. Excuse me, please. All right. So going forward, we want to have the first speaker to usher us into his amazing topic. Let me say one or two about this person. His name is Comrade Adams Ibrahim. He's a seasoned leadership expert with years of experience helping entrepreneurs and professionals transform their mindset for success. He will be speaking on a special topic with clap innovation. Join me as I welcome Comrade Adams Ibrahim.
It's so good to be here, and I want to say a warm welcome to each particular event, right? The Millionaires Business Formula, in the person of Nicholas, right? And then by Joe. This set of persons are people of great. The fact that you're here today. So welcome once again. My name is Adams, and I am a leadership development and global lead of today. The question I want to ask you at this point is, what do you do? What do you do? Do we have business owners seated among you? If you own a business, let me see your hand up. If you own a business, okay. So if you, I would like to know the nature of the kind of business that you own, so I can, be able to talk much more, so it, covers everyone that is seated here. So, you're not telling me the amount of money that you make, right? Because sometimes some people can be, you don't want to mention it, but what I'm saying is, what is the nature of your business? Are there people who are tutors, educators here? Educators, you teach. All right. So do we have owners of, please name them now. What kind of business do you do, sir? Okay, you teach as well. All right, sir. What about you? What kind of business do you do?
I don't do business, actually. I render service.
You render service. All right. It also covers you, right? What kind of service?
Yeah, financial. I work in the
Financial institution. Right? What about you, please? What kind of business do you do? Financial institution? Awesome. Okay, what about you? Freelancer? Awesome. Okay. Your things around you, types of mindsets. We have growth mindsets, We have growth mindsets and fixed mindsets. So you will agree with me that the way and manner in which you view life tends to affect you a whole lot, right? When we talk about growth mindset, we are looking at people who take no for an answer. I mean, who don't take no for an answer, right? And then fixed mindset are people who are limited in terms of their thought pattern. People who are limited in terms of the way they reason, right? And if you have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, how many of you have read that book, right, by Robert Kiyosaki? You know, when you are confronted with challenges in your business, and you're like, oh, the customers are not coming, you know, I just started this business and I've not seen anyone, you feel discouraged, and you know, you feel the world is against you and against your business, right? And there's sometimes when you start a business, you stop it along the way and start thinking about other things that you want to do. And there are times you go into a business because of a friend is already doing that, right? You go into that business because your friend is doing it. Or maybe you see someone, you know, somewhere doing that business, and you know, you just want to create a niche around that and start your own business. While that is okay, that is fine, sometimes there is a problem, and the problem is carrying out your market analysis. The product you are about to sell is not what you want, but it's about what the market wants. Sometimes that is where we lack, you know, we lack knowledge. You develop products based on what you want to sell, but it's not based on what your customers want, right? And that is why there is need for you to carry out that research to know whether this is the kind of business that will work in this, you know, in this area. So sometimes you just open a shop and then start up a business, which is very, very wrong. Now, how many of you believe that, how many of you believe here that there's spiritual attack in business? Just raise your hand. Just wave, give me a wiper. Yes, spiritual attack, like they attack you spiritually and your business will not flourish. All right. In as much as I don't want to devalue your beliefs, right? Sometimes the 80% of the problem we face in business is more psychological than spiritual. Hello? 80% of the problem we face in business is more psychological than what? Spiritual. So, how many of you have experienced this situation? Maybe you started your business and this week, you know, you were making sales and you were like, wow, this business is good. And then the next week, you just discover that everywhere is dry. Nobody even, you know, if you post on WhatsApp status, nobody even, you know, care to like it. I mean, this is a business you've been doing and people were rushing at some point. But this particular instance, you didn't see any customer at all. Nobody even liked your content and all that. So at the end of the day, you assume or you believe that this could be my village people are hunting me, right? As we normally say in Nigeria, this is the work of my village people. So they are at it again. They want to bring down my business. But sometimes what you are struggling doing physically or what you feel is a spiritual problem might be a moment for you to really evaluate yourself. To say, how do I, you know, how can I leverage this opportunity, you know, for my own benefit? This difficulty that I'm going through, how do I leverage it? That is the way, you know, someone with the right mentality will reason that situation rather than say I'm not ruling out the fact that spiritual problem does not exist. Hello? I'm not ruling out the fact that there's no spiritual problem. But what I'm saying is that you cannot compare yourself, you know, you just started a business and then you don't know anything about content creation. Right? You started a business, you don't know how to run simple ads on Facebook. Right? You started a business and your business is not even having a visibility online. Now, would you compare yourself with someone who is having visibility online, who is creating content, who is running ads, with someone who is just by the roadside, selling his product? Who do you think will sell the most? Yes, this is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. Who do you think will sell the most? The person, thank you very much, sir. The person that has what? Visibility online. With the right kind of mindset, with the right kind of content, with the right, with the right way of, creating ads for your product, with the right branding, right? Do you know that your product can carry your name? Hello? A lot of people sell products, particularly in Nigeria. You discover that a lot of people sell products without branding name. They don't have name on it. If you really want to innovate around this and think big, think deeply, you have to have a brand name that people know you for. Sometimes let's say those days when we used to buy Nokia battery, you use Nokia phone, right? And when you want to buy, battery, you are looking for a product because of you've tested that battery, and you know that Nokia battery used to last longer. Now, would you, when you go to the market, you try as much as possible so that you don't get the fake battery. So that there is Nokia battery made by Chinese, and there's Nokia, the original Nokia battery. So there's, I don't know, have you seen the two before? And you compare. There's one that is kind of light, and there's one that is dark. And you feel the dark one, right, is the original. Is that also? So when you look at it, you know that, oh, this one is not the original Nokia battery. That is how you should have your name on your product. That people go to the market and then they say, please, what's your name, ma'am? What? And they say, please get me that dummy product. Right? Please don't go for Chinanza product. Please, I need to give you an analogy at this moment. And I want you to just follow this trend with me. Now, someone who wants to start a non-governmental organization, right? The person was thinking, what can I do to ensure that I'm thriving when it comes to non-profit organization, right? And the person going to a village that is in need of water, not actually in need of water, but the person went to that village and he saw for educators here, you'll be able to relate. He saw a situation where people living in that village, send their children to the stream to go and fetch water. And now, these children are always going to the stream very far. I mean, for some of us who are born in the 90s here, those days in our rooms, in our houses, we don't have tap water, right? They send you to the river to go and get water. I think I did that, right? And for some of us, maybe you did that as well, right? So now, children go to the stream to go and fetch water. And then, before they get back home and then go to school, what will happen? It makes those children to come to school very late. That was a problem. It was a crisis. Because children who are supposed to be in school by 7 a.m. in the morning are now coming to school by 10, and they will be flogged by the teacher. Now, this person saw this problem. It was a problem, and he wanted to solve it. And now, without carrying out the market analysis, without carrying out research, this person went into the community without talking to the major stakeholders in that community. He started a borehole project with his own personal money. At the end of the day, please just follow this example. At the end of the day, when they discover that someone, a philanthropist, is giving them a borehole project, they were just curious to know why this was going on. At the end of the day, what that person felt was the problem was water. And that is the mistake that some of us are doing in our business. Because we feel the problem, or this is the problem in this community, and I want to solve it by giving them a product that they can buy. Now, this person, without making that research, went on and started doing a borehole project. At the end of the day, when he finished that project, the children in that community kept on going to the stream to fetch water. Look at the borehole. I mean, the borehole is just right there, and they leave the borehole and go straight to the stream that is very far to fetch water. Now that you follow this trend to this point, what do you think was the problem of that community? Let's dialogue. Yeah, please, anyone can speak. What do you think was the problem of that water? So that is why they are going to the stream. I mean, that is what the person is seeing without making research. And now, these children leave this borehole that is here.
Maybe they lack awareness, because sometimes most of them believe.
They lack awareness in the part of the person that did the project.
Yes.
The community are lacking their awareness.
The community are lacking the awareness, because most of them may believe that the river water is even better than the bowl. But if there is an awareness that this water is as good and even better than the one they are going for, maybe they may comply to it.
Thank you very much for that. Do you want to say something? Please pass.
Okay, what I want to say is that it would be that, like in the example you gave, you said the person did not speak with the stakeholders or something like that. So it could be that their parents are still sending them to the river to fetch the water. So there has to be like a way whereby you can divert them to your side. Like there is a problem that you solve the water problem, but there's another problem that is moving them to the out. So if there can be a way that can solve problem that they have to come back to you, maybe parents speak to the community leaders and stuff like that.
All right, who else wants to? Anyone else? Okay. All right. So thank you very much for your contribution, right? Really took it through, and I mean your contributions are valid. I've asked this question in some of the seminars I've attended, and I've heard a lot of interesting thoughts. You hear people say, well, maybe the children love to gist with each other while they are moving to the stream. Right? When you are walking with your friend and you are gisting, gossiping about what is going on in that community, it's so sweet that, just going to that borehole and coming back, we can't gist much. So we just need to keep gisting until we get to the stream. Yeah, I've had a lot of inputs, and sometimes I just laugh over here, like, wow. All right, now, yes, you want to share? Yes. He said, maybe they don't trust the water or the borehole. All right, so, yeah, there's poison in it. Okay, now, what's this, this person who is supposed to be business oriented was supposed to do in the first instance was to, carry out a market analysis or a research to know what the problem was in that community. And that is what most of us do sometimes. We don't do that. We just see a friend start a business and the person is thriving. You want to replicate that in your own community. What if that's not the problem of your community? What if your product is not actually meeting the need of that community? And so this conducted his baseline survey. It was an interesting information that he got. He discovered that parents living in that community, most of them are living in one-room apartment. Let me allow that to sink in. Parents living in that community and living. Ensure you reach that stream, get that water. And so before anything happens, mommy and daddy, they are done with their business. So that is the reason why the problem initially thought by this person who wanted to start a business was not the borehole, but what? Housing problem. And so the problem was not actually the borehole, but what? Housing problem. And so that was when he started building houses for people in that community so that we have room and what? Parlor. Right? So when parents are inside, they can fetch water and the room is closed and all that. Right? So that is, and I can talk and forget that we have. All right. Now, mindsets, growth mindsets. Do you know that when you say something like, oh, this thing is too hard, I cannot do anything about it, your brain stops working. Hello? But when you are confronted with challenges and you say, how can I overcome this? You start thinking innovatively on how you can overcome that challenge, right? You start thinking, how can I do this? What can I, what strategy can I put in place to ensure that this business work out? Because we have a lot of people always complaining, it's too this, it's too, customers are not coming. But have you thought of, giving your brand a visibility online? There are some people who don't even go to, go to their shop. They have an online shop where when you need a product, all you need to do is to reach out to them via their online platforms, and they get this product delivered to you. Hello. I've written a book, right, for educators particularly, and the book is converting Naira dollars via online teaching, right? Converting Naira to dollars. Now, the reason I wrote that book is because teachers are paid meager, I can't call it salary, but stipend, right? When you go to a typical mushroom private school, you see graduates receiving 15,000 naira, 20,000 naira as peanuts. But do you know you can own your own teaching empire, where you are just in your own space at home with the gadget that you have, your laptop, even your phone if you don't have a laptop, and every other thing, and then connect to students outside Nigeria, right? Where you teach them virtually. You don't even need to see them, but you just teach them online and they pay you in dollars, right? I've written that book, and all the strategy is on, it's on seller and all that, All the strategies are on that book, right? So it's all about mindsets. I give you another analysis before I leave here, right? A story between Pablo and Bruno. Now, just as we mentioned that water was a problem in a community. Now, Pablo and Bruno are like those people who deliver water to those who need it in the community, right? Every now and then, they go and fetch water very far and supply it to people of that community. Because one of the greatest needs, I'm mentioning need for a reason. You can't create a product when people don't need them. If you create a product, the reason why you buy your phones is because you need it. And why do you need it? To make calls, to entertain yourself. Go on Snapchat, go on Instagram, do all that. That's why you need a phone. If you lost your phone today, you are looking for a medium to raise that money and buy another one the next day, right? Now, that is how your product should be. You should have that, that visibility where people are like, I cannot do without, you see, water, right? Can you do without water? No. So when you are thirsty, what do you look for? When you are thirsty, do you go for malt? No. Do you go for any other drink? You go for water to quench the thirst. So this water is needful. That is why you buy it. Even though, sometimes in some situations, you be like, oh, I have 200 naira. But because of our mindset, or maybe let's say mindset, but maybe because of the level that you are, you want to buy 15 naira pure water and put 150. 150 should be left. But now, you are in an environment where people of great minds are, and then you are seeing this, you are thirsty, but someone is having this. Now, instead of you to buy this, you rather remain thirsty. Why? Because you don't have the money, right? But you can sell a product where nobody can do without it. They're like asking, where is that particular, because you have a brand name, they're asking, where is that particular product? That is what I want. So when you go to buy drinks, there's a particular drink you need. When you go to buy phones, there's a particular brand, right? Maybe you've used Android before, let's say Infinix, and you're like, no. This someone is even giving you, suggesting a better one. But because Infinix has served you, you will go for Infinix again, right? So it takes more, energy for someone to convince you before you go for another brand, right? Now, let me close with this. I was talking about Bruno Pablo supplying water to a community, and they have to trek mile to go and get that water and supply to that community. But it got to this point, there was a mindset shift between these two persons, Bruno and Pablo. One day, Pablo thought to himself, he said, instead of us taking kegs and going to that stream very far to supply, let's say 10,000 people water every day, because it's training you, it makes you older quickly, right? You see some people, because of poverty, they are actually maybe 25, but they look 45 because of stress, hard work. You don't want to go the smart work, but rather hard work. And so he thought there was a mindset shift between these two persons. And Pablo said, can we create a pipeline that supplies water to the community instead of using the kegs? And Bruno was like, no, I want immediate gratification. I need the money now. And there's no time for me to be building pipeline from that distance to the community. It will take a lot of time and energy, a lot of work. I can't do it. Now, why there was a divergence there? Two different opinions, friends, but now they need to take a decision. Decision can either make you or mar you. That's the truth. So they need to take a decision, a critical one at that. And so when it got to that point for them to make that decision, this person said, okay, instead of supplying now, let me go and be building the pipeline from the stream to the community. And the other person said, I'll rather continue to carry keg and be supplying, and it takes decade. It took decade. And this guy was still building that pipeline until he got, so he used 10 years of his life to build that pipeline from the stream down to the community. While Pablo, on the other hand, was still supplying water with keg, and he was getting weak, and although he got himself a house, a small house, a small car, manageable one, but at the time where Pablo was weak and cannot supply water again, that was when Bruno was resting, because the pipeline that he connected to the stream is now bringing water without stress to everybody. To everybody, and so there was no need for the people to get water from Bruno, because it would take him longer time to bring water, and so everybody diverted towards Pablo, and we're collecting water via that pipeline. And before, in the next 2 years, there was a ripple effect. He was very rich, stinkingly rich, because of his mindset. Hello, because of his what? His mindset. So there's need for us to have and develop, and that's the reason why we are here today. To listen to sound ways of reasoning when it comes to business strategies. So you don't think as others, think outside the box. You don't think as others would, normally think or reason, but you are different, and that is why you're here, right? When others are lamenting to say, oh, this is very difficult, you are looking for strategies that will, take you globally, right? Are we together? So it's very, very important that we train the way you think, because your mindset determines your money set. What did I say? Your mindset determines your money set. Thank you very much. I remain Adams.
A round of applause for our speakers. Yes, that was an amazing session. Your mindset determines your what? Huh? Your money set. Yes, mindset. When you conquer in your mind, when you attain victory in your mind about a particular thing, there is every possibility that you are going to achieve it in the physical realm. Do you believe that? Yes. Once you settle it in your mind, something will keep propelling you that this thing is possible. It can be a reality. But immediately you zero it in your mind, then automatically it will get to your brain and it will stop working. Hello. Hope you enjoyed that session. All right, let's give him a round of applause once again. Yes. I said it. You can't miss it here. Instead, you add more knowledge that will leave an indelible mark in your next business approach. Hello. Hello. All right. Let's quickly do this in few minutes. Is there somebody you've ever spoken with here? Have you had a chat since you came? You've had it. Okay. It relates already. So you are going to swap. You are going to swap. I greet you. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir, ma. You're welcome, bro. Please, let's exchange our seats. Let's change. I want to have a short interactive section. Yes. Thank you. Just swap. Just swap. Auntie Dami, you are changing position. Change position. Quickly. Quickly. All right. Thank you. So what you are going to do now, it's called networking game. You ask the person his or her name. You exchange business ideas, right? And I'll ask a question after that. Okay? So network. You never can tell. Yes, you never can tell how loaded that person is or might be. Yes, relate. Relate. So I've met with a friend. I'm a very social and free person. I relate with everybody because you never can tell. There is this Yoruba adage that says, "Ara eniyan ni ire wa." Yes. So your coming here must have a great impact. So talk to each other by saying, "Hey, wow, you're wonderful. Send me your answer. Just whisper your answer to me and wire like ₦1,000,000. So relate fine. Share business ideas. If you have cards, you can share. Yes, I brought my card here. Yes. You can exchange numbers, but strictly for business. Don't say, "My MC Paparazzi say me we exchange contact to wait to something. I know deal, but for business purpose. Yes. You never can tell how long that we go in promoting your business. Yes, the person might be a great help to you in terms of what you can't do or what you don't know about. It might be graphic designing, adverts. You never can tell. Name it. Name it. Might have access to somebody that needs your product or service. Yes. Yes. So your coming here must be so meaningful and impactful. So do that. There is time frame for that. Network, relate, exchange contacts.
I will get a contact.
Why rounding up? I can see people smiling, meaning it's getting interesting. Something is good. Something good is cooking up. But don't forget when you're meeting the person at the Sagamu Business Summit. Yes. This one where this man glued to this financial person. Hey. All right, let's settle down. Yes. Do we enjoy that time? Do we really network? Do we? Yeah. Do we really? All right. Thank you. Is a is a finance personnel. So join me, clapping ovation as I invite to the podium Mr. Michael Ogidiagba. Yes, celebrate him. He's loaded and he's here to upload. We're going to enjoy him. Come on, still celebrate him. You can do better. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, boss.
My name is Michael Ogidiagba. And I told one or two people I met that I want to do business. So, pardon me if I don't relate to business, but I relate to bank. I had this experience as a relationship manager with United Bank for Africa, and presently I'm a relationship manager with Wema Bank. And one thing I'll first tell you this morning for free: your head, your heart. Interest rate will break your heart, but financial discipline will make or help your head. What do I mean by this? Let me give you an illustration. Ayo lives Ayo. We all know Ayo, Abi. We have Ayo close to us. One or two, whether your brother, your sister, everybody that is Ayo. You have Ayo here. Oh, Ayo is there. Ayo lives in a village, and out of interest in other business, Ayo went to borrow a land from that business. Is his ancestors' business. You get what I'm saying? That is what we do in our forefather. Let me go and do it. Borrow the land. He planted cassava with the hope of harvesting cassava and sell it out, make income, pay back his friend for the land he rented. He rented it on credit, monthly. No, was it a monthly or a year? Along the line, cassava needs rain to grow, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was no rain, and throughout the whole year, the business did not grow. At the end of the year, what happened? His friend the land, and the investment he had on that land went away. Ladies and gentlemen, or the sad reality of banks. And a whole lot of people don't understand what happens in bank. Bank is just an intermediary. I'll be paying you interest every day, every month, and I will now be looking for people to come and borrow your money, and I will give them at a high interest rate, so that I will be collecting the money from their interest to pay you that you have invested in the bank. Any money you have in the bank, if you come to that money in ability, you will not know. outside the bank. We call that money liability. OTD basis. Sorry, let me, because we have to be paying you interest no matter how small every month, as long as that money is with us. But that money is not going to be doing nothing without us going to look for who is going to borrow that money. How we now even get it so much so that we have enough to borrow? We will now come with something called fixed deposit. Put this money with us for 6 months so that at the end of that 6 months, what we are trying to do is we are trying to so that we can have somebody that needs that money they borrow. Now, topic before us is actually for a startup to borrow money from the bank. My whole belief of that is a total no. Yoruba people do say something, pardon me to say this, ilẹ̀ tí ò bá tójú ẹni ṣú, a kì í ṣe kí ni? A kì í mọ̀ pé ẹ̀rín. If you don't understand something, don't do it. Now, in the course of my 5 to 6 years experience, I've actually had interference with different and I've actually helped business grow from zero, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions, managing cabal of billions. But one thing I want to put it to you for sure is don't start what you don't fully understand. Now, going to the reason why I said you should not borrow money from the bank to start a business is related to the story I gave earlier that Ayo borrowed the land without understanding the nitty-gritty, the climatic condition of the environment. If you come to the bank as a startup, in the banking school while they taught us 5 C's blending, but I'm going to tell you for free the 5 C's of lending. The things we are going to put together that will not make us as a banker to give you loan. What are the 5 C's of lending? Number 1, condition. Why do you need this loan? What do you want it? 2 weeks ago, a man came to my office. I work into Wema Bank Sagamu here. The man came to the office and said, I want to borrow loan. What's the interest rate? I told him the interest rate. Interest rate is 35%. What do? Do you know what he does? He does POS business. How much do you want to borrow? 1 million naira. For how many years? For a year. Now, if we are borrowing you 1 million naira for a year at 35%, the loan you will be paying to the bank is going to be about, forget that 35%. It's not, 35% of 1 million is 350,000, right? But that is not how it works in the bank. It doesn't work that way. We call it reducing. You are not going to pay 350,000 naira, reducing balance. So I now analyze it. Now, you are going to pay about 200 and something thousand naira. Now, you are borrowing 1 million. How much do you make? How much do you make per day? Maybe 4,000 naira. On the transaction. How many days do you work? I did the calculation and I said, sir, based on this, you know, the first one is the condition. Why do you need the loan? I've understood why you needed that loan to do POS. To the next C, which is collateral. If you want to borrow money, we have to get collateral. We have to be covered. Do you have collateral? No. Do you have any title document? No. Do you have any rented apartment, agreement or whatever? No. Where do you stay? I'm living in a 1-room apartment and the like. Where's your shop? It's just one umbrella and this thing. That is collateral. There is no collateral. If you default on this 1 million naira loan, how are we going to trace you? What are we going to try? The second C is capacity. Do you have